Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us. If you've ever watched a child playing and just kind of marveled at all the complex, rapid-fire changes happening inside their growing brain, well, you are completely in the right place. We're diving right into this supportive guide today to really demystify child development stages. We'll be looking closely at the profound, absolute game-changing impact of proactive parental support. We're going to break down exactly how kids grow and how we, as the adults in their corner, can best support them. To alleviate any anxiety right out of the gate, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover defining child development, spotting disabilities, recognizing early signs, effective parent strategies, and finally, the incredible power of early intervention. All right, Section 1, defining child development. Let's establish our baseline. Kids grow at different rates. This is a deeply, deeply reassuring concept straight from our source material. Actually, I'll say it again because it's that important. Kids grow at different rates. Varying growth timelines are completely natural. So there's absolutely no need for immediate panic if your child's progress looks a little different than, say, the kid next door. Some kids hit those milestones right on the dot, while others take a little scenic route. That variation, totally normal. So how do we actually define this whole journey? Child development is the continuous process of growing physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally, all the way from birth to adolescence. It's a massive, multifaceted transformation, and thinking of it as a continuous process rather than just a checklist gives parents and teachers a solid map for knowing what skills kids usually pick up at certain ages. We can break this map down into 4 key areas to keep an eye on at home. First up, physical development. Motor skills like taking those wobbly first steps or finally mastering how to grasp a crayon. Next is cognitive development. This is thinking and problem solving, like watching them figure out how a brand new toy works or sorting shapes. Then we've got language development, their first words, babbling or listening to and following a story. And finally, social and emotional development, things like sharing with a sibling or learning how to self-soothe when they're upset. Monitoring these 4 pillars is exactly how you identify any delays nice and early. Moving right along to Section 2, spotting developmental disabilities. Okay, it's crucial we define what we mean when we use the word disability. A developmental disability is a problem with learning, behavior, or physical function that shows up early in childhood. And the key part here, it affects daily life and schoolwork. Having this clear, shared definition removes the fear factor. It doesn't have to be a scary word. It is simply a functional hurdle that just requires a different, more tailored approach. Some of the most common ones you'll hear about include autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which we know as ADHD, specific learning disabilities like dyslexia and dyscalculia, speech and language delays, and intellectual disabilities. Catching any of these early is literally a game changer for the child's long-term outcome. The sooner we know the landscape we're navigating, the sooner we can jump in and help. Which brings us to Section 3, recognizing early signs. So, what are the actual early signs of a developmental delay? You are probably asking yourself this very question right now. Mentally reviewing your own child's progress, it's pretty much the #1 question on a parent's mind. If you're tracking motor and language skills at home, here is your practical checklist of early signs to watch for. Limited speech for their age bracket, noticeable difficulty with motor skills like struggling to grab objects or walk, a distinct lack of social interaction, or consistent trouble following basic instructions. Now, if you notice these, it's not a moment to panic. Actually, scratch that. It's never a moment to panic. It is simply a clear signal to take constructive action. That leads us perfectly into Section 4, effective strategies for parents. Let's talk action. I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Parents are the first people who instruct their kids. Never forget that your day-to-day participation has a profound, completely unmatched impact on your child's early education and mental health. You are their baseline. You are literally their very first teacher, long before they ever step foot inside a formal classroom. So, how do we put that superpower into practice? Here are 4 straightforward steps. Step 1, observe those developmental milestones regularly, using those 4 key areas we talked about earlier. Step 2, encourage play-based and active learning. This doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as sorting blocks or building a little tower together to boost problem solving. Simple play is exactly how kids map out the world. Step 3, keep an open line of communication with their teachers. And Step 4, seek professional assessments the moment concerns arise. Doing these 4 things actively encourages their daily learning and growth. Creating a supportive home environment is absolutely vital. This is what builds confidence and promotes healthy overall development. Think about how you can craft a flexible home setting that nurtures this. This means adapting to what your specific child needs. For example, maybe setting up a dimly lit, cozy reading corner if your child gets easily overstimulated, or keeping their toy bins right at floor level so they can jump into active play independently. A flexible environment is the secret sauce to supporting unique learning needs. And remember, you aren't carrying this whole load alone. Your child's teachers are a huge part of the equation. The best practices for teachers involve differentiated instruction, which just means they adapt their teaching style to fit how the student actually learns. They create inclusive, flexible lesson plans, collaborate closely with you and any specialists, and really promote peer interaction and empathy in the classroom. Teaming up and creating goals together with inclusive teachers is going to help your youngster thrive. Let's move to our final section. Section 5, the power of early intervention. What exactly is early intervention? Well, it means giving a child the right help at the exact right moment during those crucial early years. It's all about timing. Studies consistently show that this timely therapeutic and educational help massively enhances learning, communication, and social skills. Sometimes we're tempted to just wait and see if a child grows out of it, but honestly, that often just delays the incredible progress that targeted, immediate help can provide. The ultimate focus here is on their potential. Early intervention helps kids tackle hurdles head-on and realize their full capabilities. By seeking professional help early, you aren't just addressing a delay, and you definitely aren't trying to fix your child. You are actively unlocking their absolute maximum potential. You're handing them the specific tools they need to navigate the world successfully, completely on their own terms. A question that comes up all the time is, can children with disabilities succeed in regular classrooms? It is a super common, highly understandable concern. Every parent wants their child to have a great experience, make friends, and feel totally included. And the answer is a resounding, definitive yes. With inclusive teaching and the right support system, they can absolutely thrive in a regular classroom setting. As our source material points out, inclusive education doesn't just benefit kids with disabilities, it benefits every single learner in that room. It promotes empathy, it builds understanding, and it genuinely makes the world a vastly better place for everyone involved. When classrooms are flexible, everybody wins. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. So I want to leave you with this. How will you use these strategies to observe, play, and advocate for the child in your life today? I really hope you're walking away feeling far more capable, knowledgeable, and just inspired to support your child's completely unique developmental journey. Whether it's tracking those cognitive milestones, getting down on the floor for some play-based learning this afternoon,